Welcome back to the channel. As you know, recently we gave away two $500 grants for equipment to two YouTube channels who had applied to our grant program. And one of those was a channel of Leona's Creative Endeavors. Now, at the time that Leona applied, I think she had 70 or 80 subscribers. And she was putting out quite a bit of content and, just really sort of getting her stride. And then once she got her equipment and she'd had a chance to kind of use it for a little bit, we did a Zoom call together, which is what I want to play for you today, where you can learn a little bit more about her, some of the questions she asked, the conversation that we had. It went really, really well, except for one minor glitch on my end, which I always seem to have one. And at the time we recorded this, it was just before I was going to my trip to England. And she had about 500 or so, between 500 and 600 subscribers. She's now past 1,000 subscribers. So she is growing by leaps and bounds. So I'm going to put a link in the description below to her channel. I would love for you to go by, stop by, see what she's doing. There may be something there you like. Maybe you'd like to subscribe to her and help her get to those 4,000 magic watch hours. Here is our conversation. All right, Leona, I'm very happy to meet you finally. So we're going to record this. I know you wanted to talk to me with maybe some questions and we can talk about some things, but before we get there, let's just sort of recap of what it is your channel is about, kind of where you're standing right now with subscribers and all of that.
Okay. Well, I think when I applied, I was probably around 70-ish subscribers. And as of this morning, when I woke up, I'm at about, I think it's 502 or 503.
Oh, wow. Congratulations.
So that's very exciting. Thank you. Yes, I'm really, really pleased with that. I started my YouTube journey actually in my 40s. And I spoke about this or wrote about this in my application, that I didn't invest in a good computer. And at the time,
Right.
I filmed and I made some videos. I have a friend who's a wool artisan and I videotaped her. I went to a wool show with her in New York. I filmed us camping with the kids, all my things. I know you camp as well. We don't camp anymore, but I liked it at the time. My daughter was a Girl Scout and I was a Girl Scout troop leader. I filmed a couple things, and then the process of editing, and then I forget that word, when you render the video,
Right.
would take like 8 to 10 hours. And I go,
Yeah.
I have a full-time job as an administrator in public education. I don't have this kind of time. And but the itch was still there. Like, I really knew I wanted to do this. I really wanted to be a part of the YouTube community. And I have a young man who's a rapper in my building. Like, that's what he is. He's a performer rapper. And I met him and he's really cool. He's such a sweetheart. And I said, hey, can I ask you a question? J-Rock, his name is Jay Sean. I said, what are you filming on? Like, do you have a MacBook? And he said, I use my iPhone and I use CapCut. And him saying that,
Yeah.
I said, I will have a video out by Monday. And that's when it started.
Yeah, I video for my Retired Me channel. I video with a Canon EOS R. And when I go outdoors, like if I'm out camping or if I'm downtown, I'm using the Pocket 3, which I'm using now. And then I've got this Life in Motion Diaries channel where I'm filming everything on the iPhone. But I have an iMac. It's a 2019 iMac. I've beefed up the memory on it. So rendering the videos through DaVinci Resolve is not a big deal for me. But like this morning, I finished a video for my retirement channel. It's in 4K. And it's like 12 minutes long. But my Wi-Fi just is awful. And it took 3.5 hours to upload.
Wow.
I could have uploaded that at Panera in about 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So it's the Wi-Fi that's the problem for me.
Yeah. That is going to be something I do in a few months, like getting a computer. Like right now, I'm on a Chromebook that we just got for my husband to do the bills and things like that. So,
Okay.
and I just literally yesterday purchased a MacBook for my daughter who's going off to college. She needs that, and I'm like, okay, you need that. I can wait. I can use the iPhone. It's fine. Uh, but what I didn't realize is when I started going on this computer, this Chromebook, I was missing stuff on the back end that I wasn't really noticing on the
Mm,
phone, like that end screen where you can put a picture of yourself and the next video to recommend.
right.
So I went and did some of that. And so I will pop on the Chromebook now and go on to try to improve that. But okay, so I the MacBook, and I'm wondering compared to CapCut, is DaVinci Resolve, you would recommend that as an editing tool for me, the editing software?
Well, DaVinci Resolve is put out by a company called Blackmagic, and the paid version of DaVinci Resolve is a professional video editor that people that make feature films use. And even that is not that expensive. But the free version of DaVinci Resolve has like 85% of everything that the paid version has.
Oh wow.
There's a bit of a learning curve in figuring out how everything lays out, and where the timeline is, and how to put text on the timeline, that kind of thing. But once you've done it 2 or 3 times, I mean, I'm not trying to make War and Peace here, so, so the editing process is really simple at this point. And like I said, it's free, and it's hard to beat free.
Yeah.
I used to use there's a software program it's escaped me now, but there was one I used when I was in education that did a pretty decent job, um, but it was kind of limited in some of the things that it did. But that sort of gave me an intro into how DaVinci Resolve works because it was laid out pretty similarly. Um, and so yeah, that's what I use. And the only reason I recommend it is because it's free. Um, I know several people who use CapCut or other kinds of programs like that. They're making great videos. They're doing a great job with it. And especially if you're editing on your phone, that's by far probably one of the easiest ways to go.
Yeah. It's very hard though because this is all I see.
Well,
And sometimes
there
four
is that.
eyes is not, I'm like, I can't see what's happening here. And it does
and
look
and
so
that's a problem. Even with DaVinci Resolve, excuse me, it's a bit of a problem for me because I have a 27-inch iMac that I edit on. But when I'm traveling, especially those daily videos, I have to do it all here on my laptop. And it's a 14-inch iMac,
yeah.
MacBook Pro. And that little tiny screen it's hard.
Yeah.
So I'm fixing to take a trip where I'll be using it every day to do that for about 8 days. And that part of it, I'm not really looking forward to.
I know happy for you and happy birthday, by the
Well,
way.
thank you. Thank you.
That's very exciting. And I know you're going on a trip, and I don't know where you're going, but I can't wait to see your video footage and your
Well,
videos.
I can tell you where I'm going because this won't go live before then. I'm leaving
Okay.
tomorrow, actually. Um, I follow a photographer on Instagram. His username is pli.panda, and he does these remarkable pictures of churches, cathedrals, that kind of stuff. That it goes like from the front door and pans across the ceiling all the way to the back.
Oh wow.
So it's this big laid out, almost like a trilobite fossil. It's just, and they're just beautiful. Well, he started posting pictures from a place called Ely Cathedral in Ely, England. And I used to live 30 minutes from there, and it's one of my absolute favorite places to go. And so I just thought, you know what? I've got points. I've got enough points for an airline ticket. I've got enough points for a hotel. I'm going to England, and I'm going to stay in Cambridge. I'm going to take the train over to Ely a couple of days.
Wow.
take some pictures, make some videos, eat some fish and chips. And
Yes.
I've sort of made this big deal about not talking about it, except just sort of, letting people know there's something coming. Hopefully they'll watch the videos. But yeah, so it was an unexpected last minute trip, but I'm pretty stoked about it.
That sounds amazing. Where I was, I never saw in a video, but maybe I missed it. The picture behind you, where did you take that?
That was actually at St. Peter's Basilica in Vatican City. It's a statue in a little hallway alcove off to the left-hand side, if I recall. And it was just kind of oh, that's interesting. I'll just take a snapshot. I wasn't really thinking about something to print. And when I did print it, especially to print it this big, now it's printed on canvas, so when I'm on video, it doesn't reflect anything. But when I printed it this big, I realized somebody needs to clean the cobwebs on this statue because they are definitely in my picture.
Oops. Well, don't look too close at my house. Oh, I also wanted to say to you, congratulations to Chattanooga because Olivia Reeve won the gold medal for
Yes.
deadlifting.
Yeah.
Or whatever
Yeah.
that's called.
Yeah.
Hey, I know someone in Chattanooga.
Yeah, I haven't watched much of the Olympics, but I did watch that. So
Yes.
yeah.
Well, I know my family is watching the women's soccer, so I was like, "Ooh, okay,
Okay.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
exciting."
All
Have
right.
you
So
had?
let's talk about your channel.
Oh,
So
okay.
how are you doing with all the things that you requested? I know, is it you that's still waiting on microphones?
Yeah, yep.
Okay.
Still waiting on the microphones, and that's
They
okay.
should be there by the 14th, I think is the latest that I saw on Amazon.
Okay, good. That's Wednesday.
I don't know why
Yes.
they're delayed.
So this was a great book. I've read the whole book already. I've taken
Okay.
copious notes. This book, and then I started this social media workbook.
Okay.
And it forced me to really think about narrowing the focus of my video. I was also the one who said I have FOMO, which is true. I like everything. I get excited by, get excited by things. I want to get involved. So I went back and I changed my about me on my YouTube page, and I
Okay.
really narrowed it and cleaned it up. And I went back and rewatched some of my videos, and I realized I do like cooking. I always have. I have a brother who's a chef. I'm half French and half Italian. I love to
Okay.
cook for people. So I did make that as one of the things that I'm going to work on. And the video I made last night, I actually, it was about Outlander, and I used a recipe from this cookbook that I've made
Oh,
several
cool.
times. Yeah. So to work on Droughtlander. It's about Droughtlander, the whole how I'm filling the Droughtlander time with what I'm doing and things like that. So I've done that already. I like my what's it called, the profile picture, because I'm
Okay.
holding it's an old gimbal, I guess. It's like a stand. It's not like the gimbal I got from you, which I used in the main video. And I'm like, ooh, and I put that, like, I'm still learning because it has a button to go up and down, like the
Right.
camera goes up and down and all around. It took me a few minutes to figure out how to use that, but I got it. I got some good video footage with that. And it really, because I'm sort of all over the place, and it did help me pan and things like that when I
Sure.
was filming. But I do need to, I think, upload my banner and change my banner
Okay.
across the back, maybe with some newer pictures. Those were some pictures I had for myself to put something up.
Gotcha.
I'm not sure the focus would, what that will be. I guess sometimes I just go with what sort of strikes me as inspiration. I don't know.
Well, and there's a big debate about that in the channels that try to teach you how to do YouTube. One is you need a niche and you need to really concentrate on that area, and the other is niches are just not that important. And on my channel, it has no niche. I mean, I do cooking. I talk about minimalism. I talk about decluttering. I talk about Chattanooga. I go on trips. I go camping. I've just, you know, that, I mean, obviously I got a big leg up because I had that one viral video that really took me through the stratosphere. But what I'm learning is that people keep coming back to my channel because they relate to me personally.
Yes.
And so I think that's a bigger key than anything else. And you know, if you've got 4 or 5 things that you want to concentrate on, there shouldn't be a problem with that. I think the issue would be that if there was no rhyme or reason to anything you were doing, that might be a problem.
Right. That makes sense.
um, and you know, you'll just have to sort of keep track of, like I do, what's getting views and what's not. So I know when I make particular kinds of videos, I'm not going to get very many views. I just know that.
Mm.
And I'm okay with that. And the ones that do get a lot of views, I'm over the moon about it. But I once you get to that plateau where you are making money on YouTube, then it's going to be really important, if you want that to be the end result, is that your paycheck continues to increase. Then you're going to have to really start looking at those analytics and think about, maybe, you know, if your cooking videos are not getting very many views, it's not that you don't cook anymore, but you just make sure that you're looking at something else and making more of those.
Okay.
So that, you know, you want it to be something you are enjoying doing, because people are going to pick up on that.
Yes. Right. I mean, we're the brand. I'm
Sure.
sure I'm sure you got recommended to me months and months ago, uh, because I'm over 50, right? So
Right.
there was
Right.
something in the analytics that sent me to you. And I remember watching you and I was like, wow, this guy got monetized so quickly. I'm going to watch him. And then I'm like, oh, and then now every day I watch you. I'm like, oh, I watch you on the Daily Motion. And actually, I was watching your more camera techniques video
Okay.
before I unboxed. And then I specifically used your techniques. That was when you were turning like left and right, if you remember the
Sure.
video.
Yeah.
And I used that in the unboxing video as a, like, you taught me something and I tried to apply it. So I think you did fairly
Well,
well
good
too.
for you.
Yeah. So, yeah. So good things. I'm trying to think anything else. Um, I took notes because
Okay.
I'm a nerd. Well, I noticed for you, you only have one short. Is there a reason you don't like to make shorts on YouTube?
I got asked that question in some comments the other day. It may have been you. I don't know. Um, and the biggest reason is I just don't have time.
Oh,
Um, when I am no longer making a video a day on the Life in Motion Diaries channel,
mhm.
then maybe what I would like to do is take some of my content that I'm making in long form and just peel out some shorts from that. Um, I don't necessarily know that I want to create shorts just for the sake of creating them. But if it's something that ties into something I've already done, I'm not opposed to shorts because I watch them a lot.
Yeah.
When I get really bored with what YouTube is showing me, I'll just click on a short, and for the next 45 minutes, I'm lost.
I've been making sure that I take portrait pictures throughout my
Okay.
videos and then go on CapCut and use a template and just load the pictures in and then upload it to TikTok, which is just started. It's not my favorite format, but
Yeah.
I unfortunately hopped on the bandwagon because my cousin's like, you should go on TikTok because so many people are on TikTok. So it's on TikTok. I now on Facebook Reels and also Instagram. And then I put it on the YouTube. So I basically take it as like a commercial for what's upcoming. I don't know if
Sure.
that's right or wrong, but that's
I don't know if there is a right or wrong. I'm getting a lot of feedback right now. I don't know. It just started. I'm not really sure why. Um, on my photography channel, I did 30 shorts in 30 days about photography. And it wasn't, I mean, they weren't great. I'm going to be the first to admit they were not great. And you know, some of them got viewed, and some of them didn't get any views, and I was like, this is too much work for me right now,
Mm.
and that's the only reason I'm not doing it.
Yeah, makes sense.
I think they can go a long way toward helping to get, you know, your brand out there more. Um, and if I hadn't bitten off so much with this daily video thing, I might already be doing it.
Yeah. I know it's going to be a struggle when school starts and, kids are coming back and teachers are coming
Yeah.
back. It's going to be a little more challenging for me. Summer gives me a little more freedom. So I was pretty prolific with creating content this summer, and it's nice. And I'm, the sun shining and all of those good things, and I only put out pretty much one video a week. I'd like to make more. I just don't know if it's possible. And I do want to keep growing my channel. So if you ever get an opportunity to maybe watch the Outlander video, the Droughtlander video or something, if
Okay.
we could talk about one video. I think that I've made progress. There are some videos that I go, oh wow, that was really good. The unboxing video where I learned that new technique about filming. There's a couple things I really like in my work. So at least I feel like I'm growing. So I think at the end of the day, I told myself at the beginning, make 50 videos, whether they stink or not.
Well, that's true. I mean, a lot of people say your first 100 videos are not going to be very good, and mine certainly were not. Now, I'd already done a lot of videos before I started this channel, so it was a little easier. Um, but even with that, it took me a while to kind of find my footing on this channel. Um, but yeah, and you know, it's like anything else. The more you do it, the better you'll be. And so, just I look back at some of my early photography videos, and I'm like, I really need to just take that down. That is so bad. But but I leave them up anyway because it's a learning process, and people need to see the learning process.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I think my last question is like an office or like a studio or a space. I do tend to hold meetings here in my kitchen, but it's really not a great. It's really not a great space. So I guess my question is, um, I know you use that room, but is that a multi-purpose room or is it an office, or should I invest in reworking my office so I have a space to like do voiceovers and things like that?
Well, that's a great question. This room started off as a place to do indoor photography. And so I was doing kind of like still life photography and trying to learn how to use a flash and that kind of stuff. And then over time that sort of got disbanded. And I watched a channel called Becky and Chris, I think. Um, and they were designing studio spaces in their basement. And they came up with this design where they had 3 studios within one space. All they had to do was rearrange the cameras. And I was also watching a long time ago a photography channel by Sean Tucker, who just sits on his couch and talks. And I was trying to sort of emulate that lighting for a while. That's how I got this couch that I have in the room. I was trying to do videos that kind of look like that. And then over time, it just sort of evolved into the fact that I've got a space here behind the couch I can do. I've got the corner space that I can use. I've got a space over here by my iMac that I can use. You don't need all of that. A lot of people that I watch who have very successful channels, they've got something in their living room. They've just got a nice well lit space with a couch and a chair or whatever. They're doing all their videos there. Lighting is key, and trying to do something where you're not getting a lot of feedback or a lot of echo to your audio.
Yeah.
I get horrible echo in this room because it's got a wood floor. It's got sheetrock walls and ceiling. And that's why I run a lot of my audio through Adobe's Podcast Enhance, which is another free program you can use. And that eliminates all of that sort of echoey sound, gives it more of a more rich podcast kind of sound. So you can overcome those things, but you're going to have a pretty decent mic. That should help, because the closer you are to your mic, the better the audio is going to be.
Okay.
And then the issue is, where can you be that's well lit?
Okay. That worked.
No problem.
Hey. Oopsie.
Can you still hear me?
Yes, absolutely. Perfect.
So
Yep.
I have in my living room, I was saying, I have a space that has some light, but there's no way for me to put furniture there to do my podcast over there, my videos over there. So just if you've got a south facing window that you can put something in front of, you don't have to have a lot of lighting and stuff. Just make sure that where you're sitting is well lit. That's the biggest thing.
Yes. I want to look as my best.
Well, don't we all?
Yes. Absolutely. Okay. Well, this is great.
I was watching somebody the other day. He's got like 350,000 followers, and all he does is sit in the front seat of his car on a break at work and talk to his phone.
Wow.
He does no editing. He just uploads his video, and people are watching. So don't get. I mean, I know you want to make the best looking video you can, but don't get caught up there just yet.
Okay.
Make the best content you can make. That's key.
Yeah. Yes. Something I read, I think it was in Social Media Workbook, it was that we're inviting our friends, our subscribers, to a party, and we're hosting the party. So I want to have a great party.
Okay.
Right? Don't we all, right? That's what we want. I want to make the best party I can possibly make. And I'm doing this all in my free time on the weekend, trying to make it exciting while working full time and being a mom and running a house.
And
anyway,
I know you said you'd like to do more than one video a week, but while you're working, one a week is plenty.
Yes. And it'll come. I know it'll come. And like I said, this is a marathon. So
exactly.
Yeah.
I mentioned the photographer, Sean Tucker. When Sean Tucker started, he uploaded one video a month.
Oh,
that was it. And before long, he was monetized, making money.
Wow. Yeah.
Because it was about making sure that the content was solid.
Yeah. It's always, sometimes I try to write down ideas when I feel inspired. So like I want to do a video about my favorite YouTubers. I was thinking I would do that.
Yeah.
Because it's a very specific niche that I follow.
Sure.
Right. So mostly chateaus. I like people that are in France. And then I follow Kirsten and Jorg, who are German, but they live in England. And a lot of the channels I watch are just really nice. Like I watch you. There's no violence. There's no hate. It's all just, it's nice. It's pleasant. It's entertaining, but it's also educational. So yeah. And so that's also the kind of video I want to make. I want to make fun videos that are educational, but like a party. And hopefully people will want to hang out with me. We'll see.
Okay.
All right. That's it. Well, it was so wonderful meeting you via Zoom.
You as well.
And
so as you progress, I mean, I've got, obviously I'm subscribed to you, so when you post something new, I make sure that I watch it. But as you go along and you've got other questions, or you want to talk about editing or that kind of stuff, feel free to reach out. We'll do this again. Doesn't have to be recorded every time.
Well, good. Well, you know what? If you can, and I can use this somehow and make a video, I think it's worth it. We're going to be filming. We're here anyway.
I will send you this video, that you can use to read. You can edit it and post it if you want to as well.
Okay, that would be great.
Okay.
Oh, I did. You know what I learned also is I never changed my lighting. And after watching you, because you were showing on, it must have been the Life in Motions diary, how you go on afterward and you sometimes change like the brightness or the color. And at the end of my main video, I purposely said, stay tuned to the end so you can see some bonus content where I had filmed a thunderstorm, and I'd filmed it in a cinematic video, which I had never done. And it looked really dark. So I went and changed the brightness on it, and it looked better. And I, again, thank you for that, because I would have never even thought about that. I would have just put the video up. And so know
Yeah,
that.
and yeah, when I video in this room, I typically, my default microphone has changed. Okay. When I'm videoing in this room, I typically underexpose because it's just easier to raise it up a little bit than it is to blow out the highlights, and then you can't fix it. So I always try to do it just a little underexposed. Now, I don't always do that outside, but in here I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just but then you got to, and it's really interesting. I don't know if you may find this as well, but I do all my editing on this iMac, and I'm really happy with the video. And then when I watch it on the TV after it goes live, the TV screen settings are totally different, and I'm like, what was I thinking? I don't know what happened.
Yes. Well, in summation, I can honestly say that watching you and receiving this grant opportunity has been very helpful. So I really am very
Well,
appreciative. So
thank you. I appreciate that. I really do.
yeah.
And I do wish you well. It sounds like you've made great strides with subscribers, and hopefully your watch time hours are going to start growing as well. So
Yeah, that's
I
a
look forward to
challenge.
your continued success, and I look
Thank
forward to
you.
the big party you're going to throw when you get monetized.
Yes, definitely. Yes, and to go live. So that might be the next time we're going to talk about how you go live. I have no idea.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, awesome. Well, thank you so much, Tim.
Thank you. It's nice talking to you, Leona.
You as well. Have a good one. Enjoy your
You
trip.
too. Thank you. Let's turn this recording off. There we go.